Alright, so I'm making this video for anybody out there that's ever done a lot of drone flying or that's ever been in an area where there's a lot of radio frequency, I guess you want to call it pollution or interference, whatever you want to call it. But recently I was in Honduras on a cruise, and during that time, spending some time with my family, I've got a DJI right here, and what I did is this is a piece of aluminum edging, and I've got a LG 360 hooked up right there. So at this point, I'm having a great time. I hooked all this stuff up, kind of rigged it up. You can see in the foreground there, that's our ship right there, the Dream. This one, the Triumph, a couple of great stories about that one. Previous few days before that, somebody got tossed overboard. I guess somebody was tired of the wife. And then also it broke down recently here with my in-laws on it. Anyhow, take a look at this in this video. This is something to be very aware of. These giant things on top of the communication towers, if you want to call them. At this point I'm flying this thing, I'm thinking, yeah, this is great. I'm just going to go up. There's a bunch of people on the beach right here. You know, I'm trying to get all this stuff right here too. And I thought it'd be, man, this is kind of cool. 360, having a blast. This thing got geo-fenced in somehow, and it started drifting, and somewhere probably around 580 feet to close to, it took off to like over, I think it was over 700 feet. I was like sweating. I had no control of it, and it just wanted to go straight up in the air. This interference, again, if you've ever had a drone, you'll know that, you know, satellite connection is very, very important. I had plenty of satellites. I don't remember what they were at the time, but again, I wasn't worried about it. I've learned that lesson, you know, the hard way, unfortunately, trying to get a quick video in and pop a drone up without having a good connection with all satellites. Anyhow, major issue. We're going to fast forward here a little bit. I love the view, though. 360, just totally cool. Rigged it up with the LG. I'm gonna pop it open here a little bit further so we get a whole, maybe we get the whole picture here. Again, check this out. Here's some background noise. I don't think you want to hear it, but I mean, this thing's like recording up there. I realized at some point this thing, it's not happening. There's a problem here. I mean, it got way too high. The problem that I had, other than totally losing control of this thing, as far as it would just literally go straight up and straight, and it wanted to go straight up. I had to fight the thing down. I had a pre-programmed flight. I think that's what's important to mention too. I had a pre-programmed flight, and I hit the go button, and again, it was somehow interfered with. I have no idea if anybody knows. You know, it's got to be that interference, I believe. I mean, these things, there's tons of information coming in. Way in the background, apparently, there was an way back here is where I saw airplanes landing, and I'm going to fast forward here a bit, because the problem is I get down to the ground here, and it gets real shaky really quick, because I'm trying to find a place to land this thing. There's water everywhere. Honduras had this huge rain before we were down there, and I'm trying to dodge. Okay, so that's all water. This is all water right here, and even though it's not like a ton, this line right here is wood, and it's the separating edge of the volleyball box. So if you land on that thing, you flip, and if you go over here, you get in the water. So I'm trying to fight this thing down, and it won't work with me. Watch what happens. Looks great, right? Still fighting it down? Not the case. And that is the end of the flight of the Gladiator. Very scared at this point. I thought, man, I totally trashed this thing. It's done. It's over. The fact is, it lived to fly another day. I'm trying to walk over here all cool. Hey, it's cool. I'm like, if it's dead, it's dead. I have no idea at this point that this is even filming. I'm just thinking, well, I hope nobody saw me do that, because that could have been super dangerous. And I'm pretty frustrated, but oh, I'm missing a little piece. I'm gonna have to come back and find that. Anyhow, interesting flight. If anybody's ever had problems like that, please let me know. There's me going back to look for the piece. And I actually did find that piece later on. It's a small white piece on a beach in a sand area. Unbelievable that I actually found it. She lived to fly another day.